Jackie Goldschneider. I mean, we've been talking a lot about Jackie lately. I mean, first off, I don't know why are we talking about like these rumors and nastiness about who's coming back to RHONJ. I mean, we're gonna find out tomorrow, next week, in 6 months at BravoCon. So why are we just it is what it is. We have no control over this. So why do we keep talking about it? But there's a lot of talk that like Marge, the Saj, you guys know my friend Margaret, and Dolores, and Melissa are coming back. Fessler's going to BravoCon. I really hope Fessler's not back. She's just so thirsty. I hate thirsty people. And the rumor is that Cabral isn't, and Fuda isn't, and well, I mean Jennifer Aydin obviously isn't. Teresa may or may not be back, and it doesn't seem like Jackie's going to be back. I actually like Jackie, believe it or not. But the point I'm bringing all this up, we've also been talking about Jackie. She's inserted herself right in the center of Louis' ongoing legal issues with his ex. She made a statement in favor of Louis. She doing that to kind of stick it to Marge, the Sarge, or is she doing that to stay in good graces with Teresa? Newsflash, Jackie, it is 2025. It's not the early aughts. Being in good with Teresa doesn't necessarily solidify your future on the Bravo network. Again, I've said this before. If a good friend of mine from college, I have a really good friend from college, you know who you are, a high school, law school. Like, if we're talking like a long time, I would come to your defense legally. But if you were like my work colleague, I ain't inserting myself in any legal mess. You go fight your own battle. Leave me the fuck out of it. But more power to her. The point I'm bringing all up is we are sharing this. We had this summer series this past summer, sharing these from the Vault series, which have never been aired. We had Claudia Jordan. We had Juicy. Juicy came back on the podcast. We had Catherine Dennis. Now, today, we are sharing this never before heard. This from the Vault series was so well received. We're extending it into the fall. I mean, it is September, early September. It's not like the heart of the fall. Still hot out. I'm in New York City at the moment. But anyway, enough about me. We're doing this. We're sharing this from the vault. Never before heard. This has never been before heard. Chat with Jackie Goldschneider recorded at a prior time. Why are some things left in the vault and why don't they air? We have a live show. We have like three a year with Sarah Fraser. Although now that she's pregnant, we might do a live show solo or with Amir. Let's do a live show with Amir, right? I got to organize all that. It's been on the list. Everyone gets a question. And by the way, this is a great question to ask. So, why are certain things in the vault and come out when I am ready? Well, that is a question. Ask it. You only get one question at the live show. Maybe you'd rather ask something else. But anyway, it's a good question. This is a from the vault chat with Jackie Goldschneider. It has never before been heard by anybody except me and Jackie. Are things the same? I mean, has nothing changed? Is this the same Jackie today that was the Jackie in the past? We cover it all. So kick back, relax, and roll. Here is our chat from the vault and never before heard with the one and only Jackie Goldschneider.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's definitely going to be different than two T's. I mean, I'm sure there'll be Housewives stuff on there, but it's not going to be a recap show.
I love it. Any advice to people out there that are struggling with weight issues?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if you think that you might have a problem and you want to know if your restriction or your diet issues go too far, there are screening tools on the National Eating Disorder Association website. You can find screening tools and resources. I would say just if you think that you might have a problem, there are therapists and dietitians that specialize in eating disorders that you can just Google and find, and they're covered by insurance. A lot of them, mine are too. And also open up to somebody in your life, because once you open that door and tell somebody you need their help, what I've learned is that people do want to help. They do. So open up to somebody, share with them that you think you might need help, and really look for resources because they're out there.
What about, as we wrap up, I've spoken about this on my show. You started by giving me shade to say, what have you said about me, David? And are you, and I've never really said anything so bad about you, Jackie. I think I might have said just one thing like, okay, you were fired and demoted. Maybe that was it. But I've always said that I thought you were real and you were smart and that this wasn't your life. And after we ran into each other at the Glad Media Awards,
I
I sang
know.
your praises.
I'm glad we did, and we had a little hug, and I think it all like went away. Like any kind of like, does she like me? Does he like me? Like that all went away, and like, who cares really, right?
I
It's
said
not.
on air, I said I wasn't, I saw, well, it's so funny. I came back to my seat and the friends I was with were like, oh, good thing you were in the bathroom. Jackie just passed. And I'm like, oh God, like not that I don't want to see you, but just like, oh, like this is the
Yeah,
life I
no,
lead now, David. You have a big mouth, you shoot
yeah.
it off behind a keyboard and a microphone. You have to pay the price in person. And then when I saw you and you came up to me, I was like, oh, class act. It's fine.
You
Like
know,
everything's good.
if it's not that deep with me, I have a really easy time letting it go. And I like people until like I have a reason not to like you. So with me and you, it was nothing that deep. I mean, it's housewife shit. Who cares, right? Everyone's entitled to an opinion on the show, and you're entitled to change your opinion about people on the shows. And I think that's what happened with us. And I think, we've known each other for a long time,
Yes.
So I was so happy to see you genuinely. And I don't care what your opinions on like who I am on the show is. I always knew that you liked me as a person. So I was so happy to see you, and I'm so happy to be on your podcast.
I have always said that. I've always said great things about you. I too am the same way. Like, I don't know what your sign is. I'm a Gemini. Like, it's not that deep with me. Like, whatever I'm upset about at 9 a.m., I'm over it by 9:01. I really don't care.
Yeah.
Like, unless it,
I think that Kim D didn't like me. And so I think when she was working with you, that it was a more negative spin on who I was. But as soon as you stopped working with her, and before you worked with her and after, I think we were always good.
best decision I ever made is to just not have Kim D on this podcast. Before we, and I agree with you. Before we go though, I just want to, because I've mentioned this too on this podcast. Where do you stand with the Ozempic? I'm not going to come for you. I have used, you didn't really see me. I gained a lot of weight during COVID. I use Manjaro. I use semi-glutide. I'm not going to come for you. I know you said it was an
Yeah.
eating disorder.
No,
I
no,
don't,
no.
and I don't necessarily disagree with you. I don't like, I see, because I have my own, but I use them
Yeah.
to lose weight and they worked. I'm just curious, where do you stand?
Yeah.
Has this changed the weight loss industry already? And
Yeah.
where's all this headed? I'm really just curious because you are an expert. You wrote a book on this.
So I don't take issue with any particular person using Ozempic. I understand. And when I say Ozempic, I mean the umbrella term for all of the semaglutide.
Totally.
I understand why people would use it. I understand the want, the draw to being thin. My issue is with the drugs themselves being used to lose the last few pounds. And the only reason I have an issue with it is because it's a life sentence. Because all the science shows that when you go off of them, your appetite comes back so strongly and your metabolism is changed so drastically that you do gain all of it back. And I know what happens when you're suddenly in a body that you feel the need to change and what lengths you'll go to. So my fear is that one day all of these unstudied side effects will start to appear, in years from now, or maybe not even that long. And people will have to go off the drugs and then suddenly find another way to stay in the bodies that they got used to. And I don't want to see a world in which that there's millions of new people with eating disorders, because that's something I have skin in the game. So that's what scares me. And that's why I call them eating disorders in a needle, because I don't know what they're creating and I don't know what the world is going to look like in a few years from now.
And I'm very open about all that here. I've talked about it. I don't know why all the housewives aren't more open about it, but I can tell you I've had a very up and down. The side effects are truly, truly horrendous. That's why I went off and now I'm on a little bit, but it was really, I kind of like not comparing myself to your story, but there was a day where I woke up where I'm like, wait a second, out of the past 8 weeks, I've literally been like deathly ill for like 6 of them. Like I've literally felt like everyone these days is like, you're in such a good mood. I'm like, I'm in such a good mood because I feel great because I'm not on this. Like, I truly was sick for like
Yeah.
6.5 of 8 weeks. And I'm like, wait a second, like this isn't a normal way to live. Like I'm doing
Yeah,
this to
but
myself.
also you lose a lot of muscle mass, and that's a scientific fact also. And there is a degree of malnutrition that shows up in people after, some time on these drugs. And it's just when you do something, when you're eating in a way that's not good for your health in order to lose weight, that is the definition of an eating disorder. So it just scares me. I don't want people to have to go through what I went through because it was so, so bad. And that's why I dislike these drugs. But I don't blame people for being on them. I really don't, because I know what that's like to want to be thin.
I just figured I would ask you because you're here. And I mean, I
Yeah,
don't disagree with
of course.
you.
And
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, listen, when your podcast comes out, you and Jen Fessler will have to come back. I'm so excited. When do
Yes,
you
we
have a
would
launch
love it.
date? Do you have an actual launch
Um,
date?
Within the next few weeks. Yeah.
I'm
I think at
excited.
some point in November.
I'm excited. Well, listen, I have wanted you here forever, so I'm
Oh,
glad that
David.
Jack,
This
you
was
could
so
come in.
fun, and
Was
I'm
this
so happy
fun?
to be
Okay.
here. Yeah, it was really, really fun. You're so good at this. This is definitely your calling.
This is my call. And who knew that, like, after law school and everything
Well,
else
look where
I've
I
done with
ended
my
up.
life, here we would
What
be
a waste
talking
law
about
school was,
housewives.
right?
But doesn't it teach you to think a certain way?
Oh
That's
yeah. I actually loved law school. I didn't like practicing, but I loved law school.
where'd you go to law school? I don't even know.
Boredom.
Okay, so local.
Boredom.
I like went to
Yeah.
Hofstra. I don't know how you loved law school, but
Ah,
more power to you. I
I
mean,
loved it. I'm a
you
nerd
did.
deep down. I love studying. I loved being in class. I really love learning. I really do.
You know what it is? I majored in accounting. So, like, I majored in something where there was like an answer. There was like numbers, there was an actual answer. So, when I got to law school, I was like, I don't understand any of this. Like, what's the answer?
Uh,
Just tell me what the answer is so I can get
yeah, I
an
know.
A. And now, once you're out of law school, I'm like, everything I do here is like because of law school. Like, it makes, you know how to ask questions
Yeah.
and craft a story. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't think I would be as good at this job if I didn't go to law school. I really
For
don't.
sure, 100%. I think that's why I was also like naturally found a way to journalism because you know how to tell a story and ask the questions. Yeah.
Totally. Well, this was so fun. Thank you for a little bit of Evan. I do say, not to put you on spot, I do say all the time, I think the hottest house husband in New Jersey. I don't know if you hear me say
Well,
this.
I've
It's
heard you say
Evan,
it and I
hands down.
completely agree with you. That's one thing we both agree on.
Don't worry. I understand he's straight. I understand he's taken. I'm not that guy, but just letting you know while you're here, he is the